powered people of Arizona, and I want to welcome you to our 269th Raw Potluck. We have not missed a Raw Potluck on the third Saturday in over 22 years. So we welcome you this evening. I have the pleasure of inviting and introducing Miss Stephanie Smith. She has been with this group since the beginning, and she's had many, many different journeys on her health, nutrition, food, and lots of fun. And so I'm going to turn her over and let her tell you about her experience at TrueNorth in California. She was there, and she's just going to share her experience. And then we'll ask questions afterwards. And I think you're going to have a wonderful time. So, Stephanie, we're just so grateful that you're able to join us this evening.
Well, thank you. Thank you. So, TrueNorth, many people will understand what it is. In the same aspect, when you tell a meat-eating person that you're not going to be eating meat, what do they say? Where you going to get your protein, right? So it's just because it's over the head. So some things I tell you about that I saw will be over your head. And I brought a pamphlet that if you're interested more, you can go on the net and you can find out more about it. But I tell you, it was a wonderful experience. It was almost like it was a beautiful retreat. And what it is, TrueNorth has taken over some apartment buildings. They have 70 patients there, 70. The first question as I walked, they specialize in water fasting. They don't do it after 40 days because they say maybe your body could run into problems. But if you ever want to go there, you see a medical doctor twice a day in case some people do have big problems. So, and you do see a nurse practitioner once every single day. So they take urine samples and blood samples, so you're properly monitored in case something was going wrong. Because I find most people get scared. You can't eat anything but water, drink anything but water for 40, because we don't understand it. But do you know how many days did Jesus fast for? You know, and I'm going to pass this book around. This was written by Dr. Joel Furman, one of Susan's favorite doctors. But anyway, this book was written almost 30 years ago. And guess what it was written on? Water fasting. And he had one person here that went on 80 days. It was the man. We're not suggesting that you try to do that. TrueNorth says anything more than 3 days, you should be in a center where you're properly supervised. Because you can not eat food and just drink water. That's not water fasting. If you have to get up and cook your meal or whatever, or run to the grocery, because your body, when you're water fasting, your body has to be completely relaxed. Don't do much, walk slowly. So, because the body can't do what it has to do here and reset and give your organs a chance, even when your brain is working, it takes a toll on the body. So you want to be completely relaxed. But my first impression when I walked in there, somebody says, "Well, this is my third time. This is my sixth time." Why? Why would you want to come back that many times? Because you know what I was thinking? You go there if you have a problem and you get the problem solved, right? But it's a way that you can actually, I'll pass this around. It's a way that you can actually reset the body. And after 3 days, you're in ketosis, and that means you're making brand new blood cells. It's a beautiful setting because you can eat in a courtyard with beautiful roses and a lot of flowers. I met a lot of people who got results. Didn't meet all 70, of course, but I met several. One had very bad lung cancer. I saw her improvement. The one that impressed me most was the one that had inflammation, any kind of itis. I think hers, they call it whatever. But her hands, her hands were so swollen you couldn't touch her hand. She had big bumps on her hand. I've never seen anything like this. Now, and she got great. She wasn't cured. She was there for 6 weeks. The way they operate is you go there for the amount of time that they think you should be there. And if you're not gotten the results that you want to get, then you could extend the time that you've been there. So, but I seen she got great results. And they did something that I marvel at. They think that you cannot heal the body if you are on drugs. So they take you off your drugs. I'm not suggesting that any of you drop your drugs. This is done in a medical supervision and they know what they're doing. One woman I saw got rid of psychiatric drugs. I was actually scared. I never heard of that before. You know, and some people got results, some people did not get cured. One get a retired medical doctor, she was on 3 high blood pressure drugs, and she was only able to get off 1.5, but that's still some improvement. Okay, what else could I tell you about them? Oh, the food is delicious. The food is delicious. They believe in an SOS diet. No salt, no oil, no sugar. Now you're getting some. They don't worry about if you're having from a nightshade family or if you don't want to eat tomatoes because it's got seeds or acid, or as long as it's a fruit and a vegetable, they think it's good for you to eat. And eat a wide variety so your gut would have, when you come with a virus or anything and you have a wide variety of all kinds of green vegetables in your gut, they believe a lot in green vegetables. You could even have, I was even having, this morning for breakfast, I had onion and garlic and collard green. You know, you don't have to have oatmeal. But if you like oatmeal, it's okay. They don't believe in any fractured products. Now, you know, if you put this stuff in the blender, it's not the same food, but you're still getting the stuff. And if that's what it takes for you to get greens done, it's perfect. Let's see who else I have. Oh, there was a girl. Her name is Jean. She had migraines for 16 years. They did not let up. She got rid of it. I spoke to her. So there's lots of people that got help. And young people. Why are these young boys there? I mean, you could see they're young. You know how you can tell a college student? He's got a t-shirt on that's so wrinkly and his hair is all over the place and he's as big as this, right? Real skinny. There were lots of them and I'm thinking, where are these boys getting money to come here? But one thing you know, those younger generations are not like me. They're not working to get the big house and the big this. They're more interested in health. So there were a lot of them there that came back more and more.
How long ago were you there?
I was there in July.
Oh, this year?
Yes, from the 7th to the 20th.
Yeah.
Better idea of all the things you personally did from morning you woke up, and then what was the process?
Oh, yes. Okay, well, you got up. the doctor's case, you saw many different, you had a doctor that was assigned to you. And when you go there, of course, he takes all your medical records and look at them. But, but you also see many different doctors. And when you first get up, they come from anywhere from 7 to 8 o'clock. And they do a lot of things. They look at you, they ask you any questions, how you're feeling, and so on. Yes.
Would you repeat the question?
Do they take any blood tests to find out where you are or what nutrients you're missing or whatever? They do many blood tests and many urine tests, because that's how they find out about the ketones and I don't know what else, a lot of different things. Anyway, and after that, then your breakfast is from 8 to 9. You can't go to breakfast. You can't eat in the courtyard. Now, what do they have for food? Mostly raw foods. They always had every day for every meal, plenty of different kinds of mushrooms, different kinds of sprouts, different kinds of microgreens, and all kinds of different greens. And they also had steamed vegetables. Some people just come there to eat the food. So that, so anyway, the food was always delicious to me. They did have chia seeds and stuff like that to sprinkle on your food. They always had a soup. And it's amazing to me, and I talked to the chef a couple of times, and I did buy his book. It's amazing to see this man cook. Okay, so then also they have twice a day, they have either a speaker talking about nutrition or they have a demonstration on how to cook or how to prepare raw foods or whatever. And it's amazing that this guy he does either water saute. He'll get the pot very hot, and then he'd put about a teaspoon of water in the pot, and then he will cook whatever he wants to cook in there. Only takes him 5 or 7 minutes. And if the pot, no oil, and if you find that it's burning, you know how it might get brown, you put maybe a half a teaspoon of the water and you scrape that up. That's supposed to be flavoring for it. So, okay, so you either go to your lecture or you go to a demo, and then it's lunchtime and whatever. And then, of course, you have the same thing at dinner time. After dinner, you could have meditation or prayer or yoga. All of these things that I'm telling you is all included in the price. You also have a TV in your room, the more expensive rooms, and that's a big advantage. When I first went there, I was only going to go there for 10 days. And so when I extended my time, I couldn't have that room. I had to take, cheaper room. I says, why not? It didn't have a TV in it. Why you want a TV in the room? Because they have all kinds of lectures on nutrition all the time. But if you don't have that, you can walk out into the living room and they always have a main TV out there. When you leave and you're traveling, they give you 3 big meals to take with you, which you can take on the aircraft, which I did without a problem. All of this is included in the price.
Can you say how much?
Yes, I could. But, oh, let me tell you this. If anybody's interested, You go on the web, they tell you, I have the things right here, and you fill out a form. And the form, it has a few questions. You send that in, you do it by email. You send that in, and then you get to talk to Honky Tonky. His name is Golham, but it might take him a couple of days. This call is completely free. If you're interested, or if you think it's something you want to do or you don't want to do, or why he has it, any kind of a question you have, you can ask them completely free. Yes, Susan. Yes,
Repeat that.
you can go to True North TV and watch any of the lectures.
That's a website?
True North TV. The flyers are coming around there. Thank you, Susan.
Stephanie, you might want to point out, you're telling us about all this wonderful food that started out with the
Okay.
or the water.
Okay.
So explain how that works.
Okay. I really wanted to water fast. I couldn't do it more than one day because after checking my urine and different things, they found out I was losing too much electrolyte. So they put me, I had then went on a broth, just drinking broths and water, 5 broths and some water every day. So that's what I did. And some people go on just vegetable juice fast. It depends when they take your urine and your blood test. It depends whatever the doctors decide. So not everybody can go on a water fast. You were asking about how much it costs. I think listen, when I first heard the price, I said, that is ridiculous. Now I say it's cheap. The first room I had was a big queen size bed with a TV and plenty of closet space and so on. And that was $209 a night. Shared that. Okay, so it is an apartment building. So in this apartment, you have one queen size master bedroom, and they have their own bathroom. And the other 2 rooms, you have to share a bathroom. Well, listen to this. How many times you think, well, I never had to wait on the bathroom, so that's not a problem. I don't think it wasn't a problem for me. Well, let me back up. When you go on water fast, you do not take a shower for the time that you're on the water fast. You only brush your teeth with water. You do not put any creams or anything on your skin. So you're not in the bathroom at the normal time that you would be in the bathroom. And that room was $209. And when they told me, well, this other room available, it's cheaper, and it only costs $149. I'll take it. I wouldn't do that again. It's what you call a cubbyhole room. I didn't mind the smallness, but I didn't have the TV. Why is the TV important? You don't always feel 100%. I was blessed that I wasn't really sick. Only on my 4th day, I felt I was going to. And they gave me some kind of bubbly water, which settled my system down. But you are encouraged to lay in bed and pray and read, or if you have the lectures. If you don't want to go down to the dining room to see the lectures, they stream it up to your room. Some people who had a lot of problems were extremely sick. My roommate, she had one breast taken off from breast cancer, and then of course it came back. because 10 years ago or whatever, we figured if we took it off, we won't get breast cancer. It won't spread. And by the way, men do have breast cancer. Okay. So anyway, it came back with a vengeance, and it got in her lymph nodes. She was extremely sick, extremely sick. She was in pain all the time. Now, as far as she told me, they're not one to shoot any kinds of pain pills or shots for you with pain. I don't know what they. She said you just have to lay down and wait it out. If the body is going to heal itself with whatever you have wrong, that's the way it goes. But I was fortunate there. So anyway, shared a bathroom was no problem while you're on the fast, okay? When you go on the fast, okay, so I was on 10 days. Then I had to stay for 5 days after, at least, because they want to make sure that your bowels and everything was working right. I don't even think my bowels worked until the fourth day after the fast, you know. So what was I eating or consuming after the water fast? The delicious food. Now I want to let you know what their plates were like. Could I eat? No. They had a plate, you know what you call a soup plate. It was as big as this, and with an indentation, a soup. And you fill that up with the food. And they kept telling me, even I was there 2 days before I started on the fast, eat, eat, eat. We wanted to eat a lot. Their idea is to get as much as green variety of vegetables or any raw vegetables, as much as you can consume. They want you to have that. And that's why they want you to eat a lot. They're not too like I remember when I did food combining, you weren't supposed to eat fruit with vegetables because they go through the system faster. They're not too consumed with that as long as you don't eat a whole lot of it. Anything to get those vegetables raw and green vegetables down. They're not too consumed if I can't eat the nightshade family or whatever. They're not too concerned about that. Just get a wide variety of raw vegetables, fruits, and this morning, guess how many bananas I've had? Okay, normally I have half of the banana in a smoothie. I had 3 bananas this morning. And I can tell you it'll make a big difference in the way your bowels go. Okay, great tofu, grains, once in a while. Beans, they want you to have at least a cup of beans every day, at least. They seem to think it has a lot of fiber. But here again, don't eat just chickpeas. Eat every different kind of bean. When you cook your beans, you could even sprout your beans before you cook them. But okay, when you soak them and you empty that water out and then rinse them again and empty that water out, that's supposed to help cut down on the gas or the bloating. And the first time you eat it, if you're not used to eating beans, eat a little bit. 2 tablespoons. Eat that 3 or 4 days. Then go to 4 tablespoons, for example. Eat it every day. The reason it gives you gas or bloating is because it's hard to digest. And if you don't eat it every day, the stomach doesn't know how to digest it. So you have to teach it by eating it little bit, little bit, little bit, and you're not supposed to get gassy. Marianne knows about that and me, right? Marianne spends the night Monday night, and every Monday night we'll have musical chairs from me. And now that wasn't from beans. I just had a problem digesting food, evidently. And it's not what you eat, it's how you digest it. And another thing is, they seem to think that chewing your food, we know it, digestion starts in the mouth, but it even has a lot to do with your jaws. To chew, chew, chew. And when you eat a smoothie, not that it's not good for you, but you drink and swallow. You're not chewing it. So they think it's better to chew, chew, chew. Yes, Laura. Annie. Yes. They didn't suggest it to me. As we get older, the enzymes in our mouth, they're not as strong. They're not as many. So that's why many of us have a problem digesting food. So Annie was saying that the doctors suggest any kind of a digestive enzymes or anything to help us digest better. They didn't for me. But my problem was solved anyway. They seem to think it's what you eat. No, first, talk to the guy upstairs. Second is what you put in here, mean to say what you read, what you think, whatever you put in your mind. And then the next thing, what you put in there, in your mouth. That's all in your control, and you are in charge of your health. Know your numbers, know what your blood pressure is, know what your cholesterol is. You're in charge of your health.
Also, not drinking liquid with your meals. More liquid drink, you are diluting the amylase, the digestion part. So if you wait 20 minutes before drinking, it will help.
I read a book one time, and this Dr. B, I call him also. But anyway, he suggests everything in your body needs water. Everything needs water. If you have powdered solution to wash your clothes with, try to wash it without water. Everything needs water, and so does your gut. So he suggested to drink some water, a cup maybe 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes before you eat. So when that food gets down there, it has water. What else, Marianne? Well, I mean, I think, or okay, after you can call there. The call will cost you, I don't remember how much, but if you have a question, or if you go to the doctor and get all your blood work or whatever, and you have any questions, you could go there and they will guide you along. And they're number one in the world with water fasting. Number one. They've been doing it for 38 years, and they had more than 2,000 people out there. And Goldhammer's biggest thing is anybody that walks in is going to be able to walk out. Which, sad to say, it's not happened with the place in Costa Rica. They had 3 deaths. And we don't know what all the things are, all the reasons, because remember, people don't do this all the time. Maybe they're going to die anyway. I don't know, but I only know what they told me. And they have the science to back it up with. And right now they're working on another test with Mayo Clinic, trying to prove that water fasting is good, because so many of us are scared of it. And also, since it's the latest thing that's going on now, so you do have to be careful and go to people that know what they're doing. He said you could get the same results with intermittent fasting if you keep it up, but it would take you years. Water is just a fast way. If you go on juice fasting, it will improve your diet, but it doesn't get the gut, because your gut is still working. And we have a lot of little insects and things down there, many, many, many. They compared it to as many as the stars. And so all of these things are still working. Not to say that they're not good. All these different types of fast are good. And when you think about it, just every single religion has a fast for one reason or the other. So it is a good thing. Yes, Susan. Okay, they're not a big fan of vitamins unless you need them. I have been guilty of that too. Somebody said some good, or I read some good, and I went out and buy that vitamin. Because it's not, if it's in a capsule, you don't know what the capsule is made of. Some of it has oil in it and this and that. But they say 6 months after I leave there, I'm supposed to have a blood test. If you're low in something, then take that vitamin to bring your marks up to standard. And then another 6 months, have another blood test and see where, maybe you don't need it, or maybe you do. But that's what they talk about vitamins.
What about if you go back with a friend, a roommate? What do they do?
Okay, if you have a roommate, you could share a room. It only costs the roommate $99 a night, but she's not going to have any medical treatment. But she could eat the food, or he, whatever. And I did see there, I saw 3 couples there. What else? Well, this is what the apple salad came from that you had tonight by Susan. It's by Kathy Fisher, and she has real simple recipes. My favorite recipe there was Jennifer made it. She's a PhD and she's there doing research, and she's a raw foodist. She had the most, I loved it. Okay, she had spaghetti. She spiralized raw sweet potato, zucchini, sweet potato. But then she also took cucumber. She took the peeler and peeled off some slices of cucumber. So her spaghetti, you could have all those choices. I like the peeled cucumber best. Her sauce, bell pepper was her main thing. Broccoli, bell pepper, broccoli. She had 3 big bell peppers, red peppers, a bunch of broccoli, and then she had bell pepper, And she had about 5 or 6 little tomatoes in there. It was delicious. I liked it. That was my favorite meal. It is, and it's so simple. The sauce was made from basically red bell pepper and broccoli. And this girl, I had to ask her age because she looked like a teenager. She's been eating raw for several years. She was 42 years old. And she looked just like a teenager. Okay, any other questions?
So all these services available, will you have all of them or
No. This is where it can cost you more money.
everything?
Everything is extra. So I did have the facial, and I had the foot reflexology, and I've seen 2, what you call them, Marianne? Chiropractors. I have a problem with my shoulder. When I'm trying to take my clothes off like this, I could hear my bones rubbing, especially this one. Been told for about 9 years now that I have a torn rotary cuff. And this chiropractor was Cranston, Cranston, is his type of specialty. And he takes this metal instrument and the pass good like the devil. So he told me I would have to have between 5 to 7 treatments. Well, I didn't. I only had 4 treatments, but it is a lot better. And the other one, I just had to go to Goldhammer because he's the head honcho, and I heard how good he was and blah, blah, blah. Okay. What else? Okay, when you first go, okay, so all of those specialties they had, and that's what could cost you quite a bit if you take them. So guess what I said when I walked in there and I found that out? I'm not taking any of that. I don't need any of that. But you see, I didn't do that. So the whole thing is you cannot make a judgment until you go there yourself and you figure things out. Because it was completely different than what I thought, completely. And to see the people from all over the world, New Zealand, Australia, the UK. Oh, this one girl came in there. I was sitting in the courtyard. I said, what is a pregnant girl doing here? She looked like she was pregnant. Her stomach was from high up here and just round like this. Fibroids. She had several different kinds of fibroids. So there's all different people come there. The whole idea is that the body can heal itself if you give it the right kinds of stuff. And if you run into a problem, the medical is there to back you up. And there's people that come in there just to buy the food too. And they have one lady, Barbara, that was a permanent resident. Now remember, they've been doing this for 38 years. So she had gone there a few times, and then she did develop Parkinson's, and she looked okay to me. But anyway, she is a full-time resident. I don't know how much her bill is, but another thing that impressed me very much, I wasn't there, but the second day, how could everybody know my name? So I could be sitting in the courtyard and the doctor goes by, hi, Stephanie. And I wasn't the only one. They knew several people's names. That's kind of surprising to me. Of course, I did my thing, which is, I think all men need to be reminded that they need to give their girlfriends, their children, their spouses some extra love. So I told every doctor that. But this one doctor is a young, shy doctor. I said, I need to know if you get any results. And I told him how he should appreciate his wife. And if she takes time to make him a special meal, give her credit for thinking about it and going out and taking the time to get the vegetables or whatever it is, and making it and so on. And I said, I'd like to know what kind of results you get. And the next morning he saw me across the courtyard, which is the back of the room there, and he put his both hands up in the air and he says, I like it, I like it. So that was kind of good. It gave me a good feeling. So anyway, to me, I am hoping, God willing, to go back sometime next year, because I think it's a wonderful experience. It's, I don't remember when last I had such peace. It's such a spiritual, I don't know. I can't explain it, but it was a wonderful thing for me. And when I look at it, it's not that expensive. Anywhere you go, what do you pay for a hotel room? And of course, they already told me, I think she told me that the rooms would be going up about $20 for next year. But since the pandemic, what isn't going to continue going up every year? Yes, Annie. No, it does not. But Medicare, well, some of you might know about Medicare, but anyway, yes, and the insurance doesn't cover everything. Like my chiropractic bills were like $35 or something. So it does cover most of it. But no, the doctors are included. What is not included is if you take any of the extra things, like the chiropractic and all that kind of. I did have a wonderful facial. Yes, and they always have lots of fruits and vegetables. Another thing, kiwi that has the fuzz on it, they suggest to eat it. Yes.
Yes, all of it.
Yes.
3 a day will kill you.
3 kiwi a day would help diabetes. They say it's a very valuable fruit. But I've seen so many people get help. So here's how it goes. When you call the doctor, when I called, he says, well, I think you can go on a 5-day fast or whatever. So plan to be here for 10 days. So that's what I did. But other people who have different problems, and you go there for the whatever time they suggest, they might say to you, we'll extend it because we think you had a longer thing. The 2 most difficult drugs they seem to think is to get rid of is thyroid, Synthroid. If you've been on that 18 years or longer, they can't. And one of the high blood pressure pills. Yes.
So if you're on a natural thyroid,
It doesn't matter.
I don't think as far as they goes, and I could be wrong because I didn't go into that personally, but I don't think it matters. They do have acupuncture there. I don't, but I do know that I talked to 2 patients there who were getting a lot of good results with acupuncture. That you have to pay extra for. So, but their whole idea is to take you off the drugs if they can. That's the first thing. And then let nature just do the work of whatever it is. And I did meet one gal from Scotland there. She did have a little weight to lose, and she was fasting for 40 days. Now, when you go on a fast, they don't let your BMI get under 18, although they're different. There could be an exception for different people. So, and they watch it and they tell you when the ketones come out, and they do this a lot from the urine and stuff. But so they're watching your body to see that you're okay if you're this or that or the other. They seem to think the simplest thing there is diabetes. That's what they seem to think.
How young are you?
Huh?
How young are you?
How young am I?
Yeah.
I'm 82.
Wow.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. By the grace of God. And the reason I try to tell people when I find out something that works for me is because I think we're here to help each other. Maybe you don't have a degree, maybe you don't have a PhD, but you don't need that either. You just need to talk to somebody. Marianne is real good at this. When she sees somebody else, thank you for doing a good job. We go to the ballet, the door, thank you, and give people a smile. We're living in a very dismal time where people don't trust people and other people don't think that they're loved. So any way we can show love to somebody, even you're going in the grocery, good morning. And if you really want to see them do a double take, say, Merry Christmas. And, because people don't listen when you talk. They don't pay any attention. But if you do so, but they will still remember that as you told them that. So that's all.
Thank you very much.
We just want to give Stephanie lots of love for her presentation. Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.